Okay, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning to you. Turn the timer on and we will start. This morning's exercise is planned at being about 55 minutes long. It's a routine that I do regularly or often, sometimes. Because I kind of remember bits of it and not other bits of it, I do have a crib sheet. So if occasionally you see me do exercise, run and look, exercise, you now know why. Let's get started. It kind of starts down and works up. The first thing, let me just step back a little bit more. Raise the heel, raise the toe. Each exercise that we do it's based on 2-minute periods. So if it's a single exercise, it'll be 2 minutes long. If it's one that can be done 2 ways, it will be a minute each. So for instance, 2 legs, 1 minute each of raising the heel, raising the toe. So that dings 30 seconds. And if I look really carefully at the timer, that's just at the limit of what these eyes will focus on, I can see that it says it's the second 30 seconds that it's counting down. How clever is that? I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're going to enjoy this exercise session with me. Change to the other foot. I know I've mentioned this before, but a little bit of swaying of the upper body is fine, maybe even a good thing, because you very gently are loosening the lower back up with this sort of movement. As I come forward onto the toes, I press down ever so slightly, so I'm bending the toes back just a tiny bit. I found as I've got older, toe mobility, as it were, has reduced a bit. Luckily, finger mobility is still great. If I could play the piano, I'd be able to play the piano, but I can't. Here we go. Change back to the other leg, and now we're rolling it side to side. Rolling the foot side to side. I'm just moving so I'm in shot. There we go. And again with this, you can see that although I'm rolling the foot, it's not just working the ankle. I'm not, how to explain this? I'm not interested, and I don't want lateral movement in the knee, but I'm happy that there's some movement in the side and the slight amount of opening and closing in the hip. Lateral, side-to-side movement of the knee is almost always a bad thing. Knees bend forwards and backwards, not side to side. Change leg, upper foot, roll the foot side to side. You may or may not find that one foot is more mobile than the other, but that kind of applies to every exercise that we do. On first one side, then the other. You may well find that your dominant side is better or your non-dominant side. I sometimes find with stretching exercises my so-called weak side is actually more flexible, more stretchy than my so-called dominant and strong side. Just sneaking forward to see, yes, that's the next one. I haven't done this whole set for about 3 weeks, I think. I've been doing all mixed exercises. Knee rotations, come forward. Sorry, don't come forward. I'm going forward. Self-talk, they call it. Knee rotations, rotating your knee. You can actually see this quite good down in the lower corner. So it's not just the knee that rotates, it's the hip and the ankle. Change direction. If you're eagle-eyed, as I've just become eagle-eyed, you'll notice that my Agar-Hutton Tai Chi Academy sign is facing the wrong way round this morning. I moved it yesterday and forgot to put it back correctly, so my apologies if that's the highlight of your day. Change to the other leg, circling the knee. Remember, if you can breathe in and out through your nose, that's brilliant. Talking of nose, let me just do that. Change direction. Arm and leg raises, the leg coming out straight in front. This is actually kind of a 4-minute segment. There's 8 variations of this that we're going to do. All simple. Well, I hope so. Get ready to change to opposite hand and leg, and change to opposite arm and leg, I should say. Change to opposite arm and leg. Those of you, sorry, if you have watched my videos before, you'll know I'm not the world's greatest person when it comes to actually correctly naming parts of the body. It's not that I don't know them, it's just I forget them. Now, same side, but doing a double raise. Diagonal. Opposite arm and leg, double raise. I think that was a triple raise. Wow. You can obviously do this exercise with any number of raises. Now we'll do diagonal raises, diagonal arm movement, same side, arm and leg. Opposite arm and leg, diagonal raises. same side, doubles. Opposite sides, doubles. Feet slightly wider than hip or shoulder width. Rotate the middle. Just moving in a little bit there. The studio is quite nice this morning. It's not cold, but it is quite cool. Change direction. So exercising feels very pleasant. Yeah, it's cool, not cold. Make sure you're circling the hips, that's forwards and backwards and side to side, not just a kind of an oval shape. Change direction. If you can make the circles a little bit bigger, great. Part of the trick to that, or maybe the whole trick to it, part of the trick, is relaxing the waist, the hips, the knees, the ankles, keeping everything nice and relaxed so you can go change direction, so you can go slightly further forwards, side to side and backwards. When we get to the next exercise in 14 seconds time, you want to bring the feet in perhaps just a little from this one, but still about sort of hip width or shoulder width apart. Changing there and turning the waist, bending the legs, relaxing the legs, allowing the legs to bend, allowing the posterior, bum, bottom, whichever word you like to use, to sink diagonally backwards slightly, turning the waist. The hips can turn a little, but try and make it mainly a waist movement exercise, letting the arms float around the body, turning side to side. Gradually, if you can, try and increase the range of motion, but be kind to yourself. I should have said earlier, if you do need to take a break at any point in time, because it's a longer session, just take a break. brought the feet in slightly there because they'd travelled out a little bit. Legs bending and straightening, providing the motive power to allow the relaxed arms to swing forwards and backwards. Occurred to me to show you it from the side. You'll see my legs are going up and down. My body stays vertical. One of the dangers of doing this exercise, not dangers, one of the ways you can make mistakes doing this exercise is if you swing the upper body forwards to provide the motive power. And we put the preceding two exercises together. We don't really, but it's what it feels like. First one leg, then the other leg bends and straightens, providing the up and down element. The waist turns, providing the twisting element. The arms relax, but the outcome is that you get a diagonal motion in the arms caused by the legs pushing and the waist turning. This for me is generally when this starts to become sort of exercise with a capital E. I do find it's around now that my legs, the muscles in my legs, start to go, oi, what's going on? Which is good. A little bit of oik, what's going on is allowed. As I think I've said to you before, Tai Chi exercise is not designed to get the heart rate racing and to get you all hot and sweaty as it might be in a other sort of exercise class. But there is nevertheless work going on. You're going to see me move in a minute. Moving in, the waist doing the, what I call the inner circles. So it's the hips doing all the work. Legs relaxed, knees bent. Legs softened, knees relaxed, legs bent. Some kind of way of getting the legs slightly curved and the bum change direction, sitting backwards, tailbone tucked under just a tiny bit throughout really. There's not any exercises we do where I would say stick the bum out and back and up, accentuating the curve of the spine. You almost always want to just gently mitigate the curve in the lower spine. except obviously when we're doing bending exercises actually, because we should be coming next. Change direction, sorry, I didn't say that. If you haven't changed direction, oh my gosh, isn't that the end of the world? Not at all. I've just realised, because I'm not completely straight onto the camera, change direction, it looks a little bit one-sided. It's not. It's both hips rising and pushing and turning and twisting, and the muscles here and the muscles in the back, muscles here, muscles there. A lot of muscles are working to enable you to do this sort of inner circling. And relax. Next comes, oh yes, of course I know the next 4 exercises. The next is arms go forward, arms go back, forwards, back. But what we're also doing is just gently stretching the spine forwards, backwards, gently curving it forwards and backwards. Back of the hands coming together, palms facing outwards, back of the hands, arms, upper spine curving forwards, curving backwards, forwards, backwards. Legs relaxed, just a little bit bent for this. Also realise that I'm dropping my head forwards, taking my head backwards to help with the gentle bending and stretching of the upper spine. Gently bend the upper spine from side to side, at the same time tilt the head side to side and raise the shoulder. So we're tilting the head, raising the shoulder, bending the upper spine. Legs are still relaxed, slightly bent. In the next 2 exercises that we're going to do, which are forwards and backwards stretches and side to side stretches, I tend to straighten the legs. But get in touch with your own body, and you do what feels right. When I do this exercise, there's almost a feeling as if I was pulling the vertebrae of the spine and the upper spine sort of away from each other, so it does feel like, or I imagine that the spine is elongating ever so slightly. More prosaically, it's probably just the muscles in the upper back going, oh, something's happening, you're making us work. forwards and backwards. If you can touch the floor, touch the floor. If you're slightly less flexible, that's okay too. Down, up and back. Fairly slow, fairly deliberate. You sometimes see me do this with interlaced fingers. The other thing I try and do is look through my legs when I'm going down so that I get a visual reference of how far forward I'm stretching, and then I get a visual reference of how far back I'm stretching, and that encourages me to try to either maintain or increase how far I'm stretching. Straightening up, stretching side to side, allowing the feet just to come out a little bit more. This is a gentle stretch side to side. Aeroplane going overhead. Don't know if you can hear it. The microphone is fairly sensitive. As you do this exercise, if you relax, you should find that your stretch improves a little bit. And if it doesn't, that's fine. Just do what you can do. The very fact that hopefully you're coming along with me on a regular basis to do these exercises is in itself an indication of progress. I just realised I'm out of camera shot to one side. Not that it bothers you, I'm sure. We'll fix it anyway. Circling the upper body. Circling and bending forwards and backwards, obviously. Change direction. change direction. Change direction. Straighten up a little bit, let the legs relax, knees bend, circle the shoulders. This exercise is often a welcome respite, since the previous exercise can be a tough one. However, after this one, we have the two exercises, change direction, that I personally find the toughest. Not going for speed here, going for full range of motion in the shoulders, arms relaxed. Change direction. There'll be one more change of direction, then we'll be doing arm rotations. And with arm rotations, I often do go for speed. And I'm not crazy, but try and relax all the muscles and get the arms to rotate when we get there as quickly as possible. As quickly as you find suitable for yourself. Other direction. See, I've slowed it down a tiny bit. I'm really emphasizing getting my shoulders to go through a full range of motion. Circle the arms. Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. Upper arms still, lower arms rotating. Just a side view so you can see what's going on. If that helps, I hope it does. Change direction. Legs are bent, sitting backwards slightly. Pelvis slightly, gently tucked under, straightening out the lower spine. And maintain this stance throughout all the following exercises. Both arms in the same direction. As I said, the last exercise and this exercise are the two that personally I find some of the toughest ones to do, which is why sometimes when I'm doing them I don't talk, change direction, or at least don't talk much, so I can just go within myself, sort of relaxing, concentrating. Look, I ended up going opposite circles there. And relax, tuck the elbows in, circle the hands. Yeah, with that arm exercise that we just did, and with this hand exercise, if I look at the screen in front of me and see what I'm doing, it kind of highlights errors, and sometimes those errors aren't there, so if it makes it look like one hand's higher than the other. Change direction. Oh, I think the screen froze for a second there. That wasn't me. I assume that was the internet. Again, full range of motion here if you can. Getting the hands to circle as much as the wrists will allow. Holding the wrists steady. That's why you tuck the elbows in to the sides, both in the same direction. It's so the elbows are touching and the forearms don't move very much. If the forearms are flapping all over the place, you're not really isolating the exercise and getting the maximum benefit for the wrists. Other direction. I'm just coming forward. Did know what the next sequence was. I did. Well, I do now. And relax. Hands down, turning the head side to side. Each of the exercises we're doing now, we do for 1 minute. So two doings, or 2 dings, and we change. It's not a race. You can do this exercise as slowly as you want, as deliberately as you want. You're trying to stretch and warm up, I guess, the neck muscles, increasing the range of motion of the head and the neck. Well, I suppose of the neck. The head comes along for the ride though, hopefully. bring the hands up onto the chest, tilting the head up and down. Trying to just consciously relax the legs, let them bend a little bit more, let the muscles in the legs do a bit of extra work. Tilting the head side to side, or raising an ear, first one ear then the other ear towards the ceiling. Stretching out the muscles in the side of the neck. Sorry, take the chin forwards and then pull it in. Just coming forward to check. I know, I've got to repeat. Forwards and backwards with the chin. Backwards and down slightly. Oh. Keep the head straight, don't do what I did, which was tilting the head to the side. Keep the head straight and then move it sort of as if you were trying to move the head so that it was over first one shoulder and then the other. Head goes down and then turn it side to side. Arms go down, head will come in a minute or two. Gently circle the head. Remember not to bend the head backwards. So if you look at me, you'll see I don't do that. I just do that. As the head comes across, you're not change direction. You're not taking the head backwards, because that can be bad for the upper spine, or the bit where the spine joins the head. So it's a circle that way. So if I could remember all the name of the planes and relax. What's this thing called? The waist. Turn the waist. Let the arms float around the body. Legs relaxed. Knees gently bent. Sitting ever so slightly backwards. Turning the waist and the hips. The hips a little bit side to side. Arms floating. Now you might be thinking, aha! We did this before. And yes, we did. But I forgot that in this particular exercise routine, the three, what I call, I suppose almost primary relaxing exercise, relaxing and twisting and stretching and strengthening exercises, three primary ones, are done for 4 minutes each, not 2 minutes each. So I'm sneakily, without letting you know, oops, I just let you know, I'm just adding them on at the end. These three exercises, I mean, genuinely can be done as often as you like, anywhere you like. They're really nice exercises, the three of them. This first one in particular, very good, just for relaxing. Bring the foot in slightly, double leg pulses, relaxed arms. As I said before, the legs are doing the work, the body remains upright. You want to avoid bending forwards and, bending forwards and backwards. I must say these three exercises, this being the second of the three, are particularly lovely out of doors, be it in the warmth or if you're wrapped up warmly in the cooler air that we are currently embracing in my part of the world. Because it just lets you move in a fairly gentle, relaxed way. Pay attention to your surroundings, watch the birds in the trees, or the cars passing by, or the clouds overhead, whatever. I was going to say whatever floats your boat, but I thought, well, hold on, I haven't actually mentioned boats. So if you are near the sea or a river and you can see a boat, you can enjoy that, and it will float your boat. Well, sort of see what I mean. It's just nice. Relaxing your body, Yes, the legs are doing some work, but well, quite intense work perhaps. But the rest of your body is relaxing, and your intent is one of relaxing and letting go. Exemplified by the force of gravity as it pulls the arms down, and change. First one leg, then the other leg pushes, and the waist turns. I've just worked out what I did. With the neck exercises, I left one of the neck exercises out of the mix, which explains why when I look at the timer, we're a minute under time. But you know what? I'm such a nice fella. I'm going to give you that minute off at the end of this exercise. We will stop, relax, shake out. The extra minute you can use however you like, and relax. I'm just going to turn the timer off. Carry on for a moment, just giving yourself a gentle shake out. Just all the bits. Tomorrow's exercise session, I'm not quite sure of the time. It might be around 8 o'clock, it might be earlier, like 7 o'clock. I haven't yet got a mechanism for telling people exactly what time we're going to start, so I've got to give that some thought. If you have any ideas as to how that can be achieved in a way that I could let you know when an exercise session is going to start. I have set up a WhatsApp group, but I don't know if that's the way to do it. If you think it is, let me know. I'll give you the details of the WhatsApp group. You can add yourself to it so that if I've got people in that group, then I could just very quickly, look at that, that's me sending a WhatsApp message. I could send a WhatsApp message 10 minutes before the morning session starts. Anyway, thank you very much, or thank you depending on which way you like to be saluted. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon. Bye.